The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not at that age. But
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers looking downfield for Jones. And this is caught. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Packers add on to their lead. Crosby with the 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Oh, the return is Powell. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they'll take over with just 18 ticks remaining. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The final shot before the break, Stafford. That'll be caught by Cup. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. Here's Powell on the return. Now a hit and a loose football, and the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown.
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Oh, the return is Powell. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. On 1st and 10, Stafford being chased out left. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A big play there for L.A. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Stafford now to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Packers pick it up. There he goes left side. Past the 20. Woo! And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. Extra point try now for Crosby. And that stretches the lead to 27. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Here's Powell on the return. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Well, shifts past him. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Woods. Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. He'll buy some time right. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And that will be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Mike, check. 59. Push him back.
So they will go for it. Stafford. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and...
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this is going to be Packer football. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
A first down run here by Jones as he'll take it forward for a gain of about 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Steps away to his left. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the Rams force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and get...
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him.
And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork
over the middle, and there's a diving catch.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there. And it's a Packers touchdown.
Robert Tonyan
from 10 yards out.
And the Packers take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. This is caught out in the right flat. And he gets in. But no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Stafford going to give this to Akers.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Throwing is Stafford. Rolling to his right. They'll get this one to Cobb, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Monday. 10.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. He completes it to Beckham. Touchdown, LA! Odell Beckham, 37 yards. And the Rams do gain a bit of respectability. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly, and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone.
set to kick it off. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From the 40 now on second down, Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 41-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He'll find Aguara complete. 7 yards the pickup there.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, it's Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take.
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now Crosby for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return is Powell. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that
breaks the tackle. Now an alley. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Going up top for Kupp. And got his man complete. A big play there for L.A. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford.
Eluding the pressure right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Gay is on for the point after. And that'll cut the lead down to 28. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Rodgers looking to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Brandon, you know, this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 17. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So,
oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this is going to be Packer football.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now, despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Rodgers throwing here. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Rodgers now to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. To throw is Rodgers. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. On first down, Stafford here. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. He's got a man complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say,